We're back.
Season
Unfortunately,
4.
without Matt. Sad. But we got a good replacement.
I'm just a filler. You already said before the show.
Awkward. How's my hair, Amanda? Is it frizzy?
Thin as always. Oh, God.
Yo, what up? It's your boy Dan Gordon, and welcome to the season 4 premiere of the Telly award-winning program, The Take.
Hell.
Yes! Yes!
You, Austin.
I'm here with my boy Horatiu Zglimbea and Aidan Schieber, aka Not Matt McCormick. Really have not hung out with Aidan much outside of Station.
Like, what, 2 times?
We probably
before?
had like 5 conversations total. And now I'm expected to come on here and have like perfect chemistry with him. Is there anything you could do to make yourself more like Matt?
Give me some cheese puffs. I'll
Well,
beer,
we don't
give me
have
some time.
cheese puffs.
Grow your hair out.
Grow your hair out,
As
okay.
this is the season 4 premiere, baby.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah! We have the Take. We got. I was up all night baking this.
Ah, you did a great job.
Celebratory cake.
Don't do it.
Make sure. I just want to make sure that the camera gets a nice shot of the.
I got the shot.
Okay, it's still good. We're just. This half is still good. I don't know why I get so upset. Like, someone else cleans it every time.
You think it's good to eat?
Yeah. I mean, you just wipe that part off.
That part? Oh, dude, yeah.
There you go. Theme song.
You promised me!
What the That'll come right off.
just made this! You son of a bitch!
Welcome back to The Take. As I failed to mention in the intro, today we're going to be reviewing Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. How you doing there, Horatiu?
I don't know why you came back. Please go back to Hollywood. Once upon a time, Dan was my friend, and he moved to Hollywood, and never again did I speak to him. That's
the alternate history you wish
That's
you were
the alternate
experiencing.
history. Yes.
So,
Welcome back. Good to have you, I guess.
Yeah, what's
would
up,
you
man?
care to give us the plot synopsis for this film?
Oh, shit. IMDB?
No, just go off the top of your head. Speak from the heart.
Him, Brad Pitt works for Leonardo DiCaprio as a stuntman, and yeah, they just live their life, do whatever, go on wild adventures, have a good time.
Charlie Manson's involved.
Like once.
That was terrible, so I'm going to do a little bit better job of setting it up.
You're a very bad Matt McCormick.
Not expecting this.
Here's a little history lesson for you, a little film history lesson, since after watching your guys' review of The Killing, it's pretty obvious that none of you know anything about film history or your Rear Window review. So the mid-60s... So for those of you not in the know, the 60s were like kind of like the 50s part 2 for movies, where the bread and butter of Hollywood was a little slow in catching up to what was going on in the culture at the time, where they were still producing these war films, these musicals, very out of touch with the counterculture. And then 1967, Warren Beatty comes out with Bonnie and Clyde. And this movie is about Rick Dalton, who is a TV cowboy who is having a hard time making the transition, because he's like the classical John Wayne type leading man who's now finding himself out of his element in this new era. Well, typically we cut to a clip here, but I thought today we'd do something a little interactive.
Oh.
God damn it. No. Whatever
Some
you're
more
about
cake.
to do, don't. If he brings out another cake, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
so I was
f***ing
like,
murder him.
maybe we could like play the clip, then through the
Oh
power
God!
of
No!
movie
Don't do that!
magic.
Don't do that! No!
Big boy in there.
That's a very big boy.
What you're getting.
Let's just composite ourselves
Oh,
into
God.
the clip and offer color commentary here.
Oh God!
Oh, Jesus.
Here, Sam, you might need to
Hold
support
it up,
this.
Sam! This isn't gonna work. Okay, so yeah, in this clip we have Kurt Russell, and Kurt Russell starred in Escape from New York, and that's an excellent feature. Here's Leonardo DiCaprio, and he starred in many feature films. Aidan, which you can offer some more
Oh yes,
insights.
of course. Yeah, so we have this very specific scene with Kurt Russell. You see, there's Bruce Lee also here. As you see, there's Brad Pitt around this area, and he's doing other stuff. I don't know if you can actually get this clip at all, because by the time this comes out, we might not even have the full movie yet. So let's find out. Horatiu.
And then the rest of it, it's there.
Oh.
I'm not playing your damn games.
That's excellent. Wow, I think that was really, you know, I think we pointed out some things that people might not have realized
Yeah.
from watching those clips themselves. you know?
Yeah.
That's the experts.
This is what he does.
Camera lady, Amanda, he comes back and he ruins things. He plays with our emotions. He thinks he can do whatever he wants based on us liking him, but that level of like has gone down.
Speaks for itself right here. I'm going to give the boys 15 seconds to give their initial impressions on the movie, but you remember
There's always
last
something.
time
There's always f***ing something.
in the Valentine's Day special, I had you eat jalapeno
That wasn't last
cheese.
time. The last time was Rear Window. Okay, so stop talking like the last
The
time.
show stops existing when I'm not on it.
You piece
not
of
important.
You piece of
But anyway, you made a mockery of me. You made me look like a fool.
I did.
Because you were able to stomach that cheese, and it totally backfired, and Matt and I were the ones that
Yeah, you guys-
could not handle the heat. So this time,
You guys look real foolish.
I have gone screaming hot salsa,
I hate
and
my
I've
life.
added habanero. I went to the grocery store and I said, show me a salsa that can do some damage. And then that wasn't enough. So I went to the pepper
I
aisle
have stuff to do after this.
and I added habaneros. Ready? Go!
I thought the movie was really good. It was pretty dense. Plotting, but in a good way. I really enjoyed both of the performances by Brad Pitt
Oh yeah.
and Leonardo DiCaprio, but...
Time! Aidan, go!
Wait. Hold on. I didn't really eat a lunch, so...
Oh my god.
I mean, if he's going, can I just go and skip the chip part?
Go. Might as well.
Might as well. All
the
right.
only point.
I was kind of aware of like the overarching plot of the movie, which kind of distracted me from most of it. But I still enjoyed it nonetheless. But it could definitely use. Really? What?
You got a lot of insight in there.
It's super good. Oh. Wow, this is really good. This is spicy, but would you like some, Dan? I'm not going to
my
feed you
God.
like last time, just because, we've done that already.
I don't understand. Yeah, so like I was saying, like this movie, it's kind of scratches a sweet spot for me. I enjoyed it. It definitely was not what I expected it to be. There really isn't a plot to this movie. It's kind of just we're hanging out with. It's like a day in the life of these characters.
Yeah, fake characters.
Yeah.
Watching the trailer, I saw that Sharon Tate was going to be in it. Like, I had a very broadest of understanding of what happened, that she was murdered by Charlie Manson's family or whatever. But I thought Charlie Manson was her boyfriend. And
So Charles Manson was Sharon Tate's boyfriend.
yeah, but that before he was like a psychopathic person. I thought
Back in high school, they just had a
no.
nice little fling.
That-
So wait. What was your understanding of Charles Manson before this movie?
My understanding before this movie was that he was a cult leader. I thought this was like a weird Sharon Tate. They found each other in Hollywood, and they she fell for him. He was like the dangerous boyfriend, and then ended up killing her out of jealousy or some ritualistic sacrifice.
Interesting. It is like part of American folklore at this point, but it definitely is not as well known as this movie's been compared to a lot, and rightfully so, Inglourious Basterds, because obviously it's made by Tarantino, and they're both alternate forms of history. And I'm wondering if this movie works as well without context, because I think that the ending would be pretty brutal
Yeah.
without knowing what those murderers were going to do
That's true. And watching the movie, I was like, holy crap, are they about to show like the actual murders
Yeah,
of
that's
Sharon
kind of like
Tate?
the whole movie. It's all. That's the only thing really pushing the thread of the story forward, because otherwise it's just kind of, like I said, a hangout movie.
Right.
And yeah, where it ultimately goes, I think that was a pretty hilarious sequence. Like, I was curious, like, what your guys' audience
It completely
reaction to that
subverts the
was.
expectations. The entire movie, I knew that, like what the end result was going to be, but like I was just wondering how these guys were going to factor into it in any shape or way. But at the same time, this isn't a movie about like the Sharon Tate murders at all. It just happens at the end, and like there's no real lead up to it. It just kind of appears.
Yeah, Tarantino did. This movie has been the source of some controversy. Where at Cannes, at the Q&A, some reporter was asking him, "Why didn't you give Margot Robbie any lines?" And he took like great offense at that.
Well, I just reject your hypothesis.
And I'm just wondering if you think that's a justified criticism.
I mean, she had lines in the movie. Like she didn't have a substantial role, but she's still in like the context of like the world that they were living in. She had a very substantial role.
Yes and no, because I did feel that obviously her screen time and her like impact on the overall story was disproportionate to the fictional Rick Dalton and Cliff Booth.
But at the same time, her sole purpose in the role, especially with like how the movie was just as a red herring.
That's
I
fair.
can see that.
Yeah, that's a fair critique.
I think the purpose of this movie, on behalf of Sharon Tate, he's trying to like reclaim her legacy. Like this is a movie I think about legacies, where Leonardo DiCaprio's character is totally obsessed with his career and how he's going to be perceived, and he's a has-been and he's past his glory days. I think like Sharon Tate, when we talk about her, a lot of her legacy is eclipsed by the murders, the massive murders. And in a sick way, Charlie Manson did get his wish of being a celebrity.
Yeah, they got what they should have gotten in this movie. You know, I didn't like. It was funny, obviously, the violence, seeing them throw, getting a dog food can thrown into the face, getting torched in the pool by the flamethrower, and like the dog Brandy, tearing them apart.
All while Brad Pitt's tripping on acid.
Exactly. So funny in that respect. Once upon a time in Hollywood, Charlie Manson's family attempted to kill Sharon Tate, but it was stopped by Rick Dalton and Cliff
It's
Booth.
the fairy tale ending.
It's the fairy tale
Yes.
ending, exactly.
So you do see it as a respectful tribute.
I do, because especially when Margot Robbie, the scenes of her in the theater as Sharon Tate, watching the actual Sharon Tate, in her iconic scenes from Dean Martin's Wrecking Crew. It was good that they left her actual Sharon Tate in the movie and didn't try to like digitally change her into Margot Robbie, but also Margot Robbie does a really good job of personifying Sharon Tate and giving us a good like...
Yeah, and Tarantino is actually in a unique position of influence to influence people's legacies. And
Exactly.
we have sponsors this episode.
We
fellas.
do? Oh God,
Yes.
just
We're about to
realized...
eat more of that.
We got Gordon Brewing Co.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, you guys are actually the first ones to try this.
Root
Sales
beer?
rocketed the second we did that ad on the takes.
Brewing root beer for the
Yes.
youth of America.
Yes.
I'm
Since,
excited. I finally get to try
Non-alcoholic
it.
root beer.
since 2019.
So you're the first ones to try it. Might not be ready, but yeah. But
Well.
just pretend you like it for the cameras.
All right, Dan, not Matt McCormick. Cheers.
Yes. Cheers.
To season 4
Season 4.
and to just keeping the set intact. Not bad. It tastes
Not bad, if I
very
say
much
so
like
myself.
root beer.
And we used a couple of bottles because we just recycle bottles.
Sure, of
And,
course.
I just we had an extra one when we finished bottling. I thought maybe this could go somewhere on set with the or maybe in your office.
Ah, yes,
next to the Telly
root beer
Awards.
brands right on set.
Yeah, so if we could
that's
get
a good
our
idea.
PA here
Let's do
to-
root beer brands. Yep.
Go ahead and take that.
Actually, can you
And,
hand?
yeah.
Amanda!
Oh my God.
That's what you f***ing get!
We'll be cutting
That's what you
to
get!
commercial break. See you guys afterwards.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Well, that person has been let go. So guys, my question to you is, why is Tarantino making a movie about 1969 in 2019?
Because he's a weirdo? I don't know.
He is a freak.
Well, there's some other things that we can talk about how he might be a freak in this movie, but I mean, he clearly has a love for Hollywood.
Yeah, I think he's just trying to dramatize, or like he really wanted to do a movie at this period of time.
I think just specifically though I think he's really, Tarantino, he's talked in interviews, I think, where he's saying that he doesn't recognize the film industry anymore. It's not what he signed up for. Movie making is not what it used to be.
It truly isn't. I mean, that's why, you broke Matt's rule. He didn't want to do any movie past 1990 because of how odd cinema has become. According to him, of course, cinema is dead, and what it is now is just a Frankenstein's monster of the past.
Yeah. Ranking it in his filmography, it would be lower tier Tarantino for me.
Sure.
Because I think it's a little rough around the edges. Like, there's not, I think the structure there, it might be missing a little something. Like, I get the sense that his first scripts were super tight. Like, Reservoir Dogs, that's a tight screenplay. Like, every line is moving the story forward. This, a lot of the footage you see show up in the trailers is not even being used in the final cut. So I just get the sense it was like a lot of it was just figured out in the edit room.
I think he's become his movies. Most of his movies, especially...
They feel very autobiographical, like with Rick struggling with his glory days are behind him. And Tarantino's a filmmaker who's always referencing back to Pulp Fiction.
And by all means, this is not a bad film in any way, shape, or form. Yeah.
It's just an odd film, I will say that. I mean, it does feel, you can definitely feel the Tarantino in it, but it's also different than most of his other stuff. It's very character-driven rather than plot-driven. Just like The Hateful Eight, it takes place over, 2 days collectively. One full, a night and a day, and then 6 months later, a night. So it's like definitely an odd style of movie.
And there's very little conflict, and whatever conflict there is, like it almost seems like that scene at Spawn Ranch. It's building up to something, and then it diffuses, and then there's another confrontation with the guy on horseback that's coming. Tex is coming to fight Brad Pitt, and then Brad Pitt's already gone. So it's almost like the movie's purposely sidestepping conflict.
Absolutely. And I think the whole movie pretty much subverted expectations. I know that's like the big, clickbaity title of 2019, subverting expectations. I didn't expect the movie to be what it was, and it's helped by Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio. I think this was a pretty tour de force for their acting styles. I mean, they're different people from each other in the film.
They're different people from each other.
Two separate
You know what
beings.
I fucking meant, damn it, Dan. They don't play like similar roles, and I don't know.
It's like Odd Couple.
Yeah, exactly. And Brad Pitt
It's
is
very likable in this movie.
very likable, even though it's
murdered his wife.
His character.
where he killed his wife. But in 3 minutes that she's on screen for, we actually also want to kill his wife, so we kind of commiserate.
Well, that kind of brings me to a point about violence in cinema, and specifically violence towards women in films.
Yes.
And what is your thoughts on violence in movies, and does it have any relation to real world violence?
I mean, I do think that this is deep all of a sudden. Yeah, exactly. Right. Does video games turn kids violent? I think individually movies don't do that, but whether on TV, whether on movie, they're all pretty violent. A lot of it's pretty sexual, and I just think that the collective does have an effect on people. It normalizes stuff, right? So it normalizes violence, whether it's against men, against women. It normalizes overt sexuality. But if they were just doing it every now and then, or if they were doing it more sporadically, not even every now and then, I don't think that we could point a finger and say violent movies affect people to be more violent.
I wouldn't say there's any real world correlation, but say we are definitely more desensitized as a whole to violence.
Now, if there is no blood, we riot.
And the violence in this film, it's I would say it's indiscriminate because everyone gets a taste, and
really
he's kind of
sticks out
stuck
to
in a
me.
bit of a revenge rut where all of his movies,
That's
it's almost
true.
predictable how they're all gonna come to this climactic, bloody, orgasmic.
Yeah, which is a
finale.
detriment, I guess you'd say.
Yeah, and in a way, it's like we were talking about how this might be a more appropriate movie for his twilight years. That is still kind of him indulging.
So let's see a lot of blood. And
Yeah,
let's
I wouldn't
see.
say this is a mature film.
No. I mean,
It's a rage fantasy. And going back to what I was talking about, like why is he making this movie? Why is he so nostalgic for this other era? I think that plays into it as well, where, you know, his heroes, just looking at the current socio-political climate and how the late 60s were this shift where the hippies were, the counterculture movement was on the rise, and then you had these like people like Rick Dalton who were more conservative and didn't understand these people that were, you know, overstepping their boundaries. And that's kind of strange how like the more in today's climate, how the more liberal-minded people are now the ones that are up in arms and getting offended over everything.
Yeah.
And it's almost like it's shifted, you know.
absolutely.
The young people are the new old people, essentially.
Now you're allowed to have long hair and a beard and, you know, recycle
Yeah.
and care about the earth.
So maybe there's no room for Tarantino in this new era of outrage.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what are you guys gonna give this out of 5 whatevers?
Not Matt McCormick?
Yeah, you know, I really like the film. I think I'll give it like 4 out of 5 brandies.
I will agree. I thought the movie was unconventional, but it kept me entertained and I really enjoyed it. So I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 whiskey sours.
Oh, we are totally unanimous here. I'm going 4 out of 5 cans of dog food.
That was going to be mine.
The hype was like an all-time high for me for this movie. I've only pre-ordered tickets weeks in advance for 2 movies, Star Wars 7 and this.
Wow.
And yeah,
you
like
were
I said-
really excited for this movie.
I was. But yeah, this movie, Tarantino said it's kind of like his Roma, his memory piece of his childhood, and in a weird way, it's kind of become a memory piece for me too, because that whole experience of being out there while they were shooting it and watching the movies at his own movie theater, that inspired the film.
Are you equating yourself to Quentin Tarantino?
And I don't
Are
think I
you
would
trying to
want
say that you and Quentin Tarantino are on the same trajectory? That you guys share similar histories and that eventually you'll be like him making 9 films that are
That's not an
largely...
aspiration.
I was wondering why there's so many
enjoy
feet in
him,
your student
but-
films.
And with that, we'll throw to our second commercial. I do have an extra stunt bottle, if anyone would like to take a crack at it.
Oh, this seems painful.
You want to take us to commercial with a...
Self-inflicted. Come on.
Commercial.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Welcome back.
He'll get you.
It hits you. It hits you later.
Oh, jeez. I feel like this was a trap. Like you guys were downplaying it to get me to do this.
Kind of.
Big scoop, too.
Yeah, that was a large scoop.
He's already sweating.
Oh, he's got the hiccups, oh no. No, no. We got him.
Well, we don't have Matt here, so I don't know who's going to do the Mailfern song. Because I know you're not stepping up to the plate, Aidan. You've been a real big disappointment.
I'm sorry.
All my life.
All your life. Yes.
I honestly think, wait. Can we get Matt on speaker to do the Mailfern song?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that might not be a bad idea. Good call. Oh, boy.
I haven't gotten hiccups in forever. No good with spicy food.
Should we put him on FaceTime? So we
Matt! We need you to do the Mailfern song right into the mic. Go, go, go. Mailfern! 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 Thank you, Matt, boy!
Thanks, Matt. We miss you.
We miss you.
We miss you, Matt.
Love you.
Your mother. All right. So there's 4 of these. Are you sure you have the right one? What does that one say?
I think the hiccup's passed.
What is that?
Movie star.
The movie star. Yeah, that is you. Stuntman, you kind of look like Dan. You're like the doppelganger Dan. Aidan and Dan. And Charles Manson. Thanks, guys. Is this me? Because of the long hair.
Oh yeah, we should have talked about that. I didn't even realize.
What's that?
You could be Charles Manson in Mindhunter.
You're right. Maybe that's my costume for Halloween this year.
Yeah. Who the f*** do you think you are, you pathetic piece of shit? Do you think you can replace me from replacing you? I'm coming after you, Matt McCormick.
Wow.
Wow.
I thought you guys had a tender moment on the phone just then.
Yeah, I said f*** your mother?
Yeah, oh, that's right. Do you feel safe?
I'm not threatened at all.
Okay. Could you take Matt? You have been working out.
Oh yeah.
Oh God, he's gonna kill you. Oh wow, you really are sweating.
That one hit a little bit hurt.
I was just like scratching my nose after cutting those habaneros, and my face started burning. So
Boy.
I don't understand how it didn't affect them.
We're men. We're real men, unlike you cake-throwing piece of Charles Manson. All right, let's see. This is very well put together. No postage though, so these must have come from. This is question from Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio. Wow, thanks guys. What do you think sets this film apart from the other Quentin Tarantino films? Just the fact that it's like a culmination of all of his different techniques, and it takes place over a shorter period of time than most of his movies, and it's the 9th one, and the other ones weren't.
That is a very good description of it. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, Stuntman, let's see. All right, of all the Hollywood actors cast in the film, who do you believe is the most accomplished from the Oscars? Honestly, has Brad Pitt won any Oscars at all?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Brad Pitt, hands down. He's probably had the longest career out of like the two main leads at least.
Yeah.
Like there's Kurt Russell and there's a few other bigger names, but.
All right. I'll play. Woo! Anne is actually dying.
Frozen peas over here.
Frozen? How is that helping?
It's not. I'm trying anything. Wait, no, I think I got ice too.
If you spit that all over the set, I will cut you. All right, so the All Play from Quentin Tarantino himself. I didn't know that they were fans. They must have known around our 4th season. What is your favorite Tarantino movie and why? Dan?
I'm gonna have to go Inglourious Bastards. I think it does a lot of what this movie set out to do, only better. The farmhouse scene, one of the most suspenseful scenes ever written. Yeah, that movie is just...
Christoph Waltz.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm going to have to agree with Dan and Glorious Bastards. I don't think there's a single bad scene in that movie.
I'm going to say Reservoir Dogs. It was the first Tarantino movie I ever saw, and I really like the ensemble cast. It had a really good dialogue and really set me up to watch the rest of his films and like them. So, Reservoir Dogs.
Well, that about does it for the take, but there is going to be after show, a little post wrap up where the B team is going to come on and kind of give a little their commentary on our commentary of the episode.
Do I still stay in because I'm the B team?
Amanda, we're going to take over the cameras here and.
Okay.
What would you say was the most important thing that you learned today on this episode of The Take?
No.
Yes.
Eat it!
Oh, don't make me.
Eat it!
Oh my God, this is literally gonna kill me.
Do it.
Oh,
do
no, you're
it.
it on my
do
pants.
it.
Oh no, this is so much.
Win.
Don't make me do
Come
it.
on, do it.
Talk. She did it. I did it.
I'll do another.
Oh no.
You have to do it. Oh.
See, I think the
Yes.
biggest thing that we can learn today is that the most important thing today is friendship.
No, I need some of that cake. To get this out of my mouth.
Sam.
Get it out of the garbage. Send
Get
it
out
this
of the
way.
garbage.
Sam.
Give me that.
Sam.
Do you want another bite, Austin?
No. No.
That's a good look for you. Beautiful face.